Alright, so today is 5.1 day 3. We are learning the zero property rule. Okay, so zero property rule is just telling you that something times 0 always equals 0. So first things first, to find the x-intercept, the root, or the zeros, remember those are all the same thing, y must equal 0. Okay, so just as a reminder, like 10 times 0 equals 0. That's your zero property rule. 0 times 90 is 0. Negative 0.5 times 0 is 0. Well, what times 5 equals 0 is 0. What times 100 equals, this is 0. Anyways, you always have to have a 0 when you're multiplying and it equals 0. So what that's telling us is that here when we're multiplying, these have to equal 0 to make that 0. Okay, those are our two options for 0. So I'm literally going to separate my two factors. This is a factor. They're separated by parentheses. This is a factor. And I'm going to set them equal to 0. And I'm going to solve for my letter. So here we have B. So I'm going to do add 2. Remember, we get rid of addition and subtraction first. Divide by 2, divide by 2. I get B equals 1. And I'm going to subtract. So minus 1, 3B equals negative 1. Divide by 3, and I get B equals negative 1/3. So my solutions are, my x-intercepts, my roots, my zeros, all of them are negative 1/3, comma 1. So what I'm saying is if I were to graph this, it would touch it like negative 1/3 and 1, and it looks something like this. Okay, let's look at the next one. Now this one has 3 factors, so 1, 2, 3. But I'm going to show you like that first factor when I set it equal to 0. Well, 9 does not equal 0, so this doesn't do anything for us. I can't solve anything. So here I'm going to add 8. I get k equals 8, minus 1, 2k equals negative 1, divide by 2, I get k is negative 1/2. So I have negative 1/2, and I have like 8. And it's going to look something like this. Okay, let's look at number 3. So here I have r plus 2, r minus 2. So I'm going to again separate r plus 2 equals 0, r minus 2 equals 0. How do I get rid of plus 2? I subtract. Remember, we're doing opposite operations. How do I get rid of minus 2? I add. So this is going to be right in the center. And it's hard to see, but it's there. So again, I have 3 factors. 4 equals 0, 5j minus 3 equals 0, j minus 7 equals 0. 4 cannot equal 0. There's nothing to solve there, so we can ignore it. Add 3, because remember, we get rid of addition and subtraction first, and then we divide. So divide by 5, so I get 3/5. Add 7, and j is already by itself, so I don't have to divide. So here I have like 3/5 and 7. Looks something like that. Now here we have to think about what squared means. So what squared means is just means twice. So I'm just going to write it twice. So I'm going to set them both equal to 0. I'm going to subtract 1, x equals negative 1. Subtract 1, x equals negative 1. Well, what that's saying is that it touches negative 1, but you can't touch it twice. Therefore, it's just touching once when it matches. Okay? Sorry, I'm making this video at home, so I did 2 children. Okay, we call this, when it gives you the same thing twice, we call this a double root. Which I know is kind of confusing, because it really only touches once, but it gives you the same thing twice. It's double. It's double. It's the same thing. Okay, so now that you're done, you're going to get on IXL, and you're working in BB7, which I have started. Y'all have a great day. This is a grade, so do your best. See y'all tomorrow.